young and real stoked to, be signed to a record label and recording an album. And, we went down there and, didn't necessarily have our shit completely together, but he definitely kicked our asses in the right direction. He definitely, was all about getting, natural takes, making us work. And you can hear that in the music. It's a raw album.
Personally, pushed me to, work on my pronunciation a lot more with my vocal style. Before, I was kind of uncertain what my sound was going to be on the record or how I wanted to make it happen. And then the closer it came to being down there and recording, it was just very obvious that for me personally, that was a big thing. So from there on out, ever since we recorded there, it's just been in my mind to make sure that everything I scream can be somewhat understood.
For this record, I just kind of did everything that I wanted to do on a death metal record that I hadn't been able to do on the first one. On the first record, it was kind of a compilation of all the songs that we'd written together as a band up until that point. And, it wasn't necessarily fresh material. Some of those songs we've been playing for years. Whereas, on Monarchy, we started from the ground up, and it was totally new. But on the second record, we realized that, we could do some stuff on our own, save some money, and then still stay at home and record the rest of the record.
It becomes a game of taking what Brody does with the music and then matching it with what I want to say at the particular stage of the record. So it's you have a puzzle, essentially. You have the music raw, and then you have what you want to say, and then where it goes. When we're coming up with this, it was the seasonal thing was sort of just, like I said, it was just that sort of light touch to just keep everybody on track and have almost sort of a goal to work toward. And I think that the seasons theme, this cyclical thing, this beginning and end that isn't really a beginning and an end in a year's cycle, it's reflective in us as well. It's something that every person goes through in certain ways. And so not only will it reflect in more obvious ways, this is about fall or whatever, but it'll be about what we're going through at the time. What it's like to be a band on its third album, growing through that.
At least on my end, the use of different atmospheres and stuff on the guitar and otherwise, that helps tie a lot of stuff together. Because, if you're just writing riffs, or at least if I'm just writing riffs, I don't know, I feel then songs feel a lot more different from one another because, you just have two guitar tracks going. Whereas if you use, different atmospheres and leads and whatever on top of stuff, you can kind of tell a story that all ties together.
I didn't care about playing music until I heard bands like Korn and Rob Zombie and Slipknot and System of a Down. But it lines up because I was at the age at the time where all those bands were super popular and Ozfest was a big thing.
I would say it was a combination of similar things that he talked about, the music scene that we kind of grew up around, the music that was relevant at that time. It was also, for me, it was also hanging out with my friends and just listening to music and acting like we were playing in the band, as corny as that sounds. That was a big thing for me, being younger. I remember specifically walking home from school one day and this kid was yo, I can see you playing in a death metal band. At that point, I didn't even listen to death metal. I was I don't know who the fuck you are, but all right, we'll see about that. And it planted a seed in my mind where I was you know what, I maybe this could happen. And years down the road, after playing in a couple bands, you ended up being in one that decided to make it somewhere. And you know, that was probably the premises to how I got here. But like influences as far as like what inspired me to be here, I listen to everything. Life is a huge inspiration to play this kind of music too. Experiences, you know.
Lamb of God, they made me want to play fast, like heavy music. Pink Floyd made me want to write sad music. I'm real big into post-rock, so, I mean, bands like This Will Destroy You and Explosions in the Sky, first time I heard those bands, Sigur Rós, you know, just like a wall of sound.
Yeah, we have a good amount of material going here. I can't really comment on when anyone will hear it. Yeah, some new music exists. It's going pretty well so far. Yeah, the time frame is the question. You know, we're taking it slow so far.